Someone help! Where did you get that gear from?
Rustplus.com, helping you get the skins you want.
This video is sponsored by rustplus.com. Check out their link in the description below.
Alright, so let's get started. You want to find a nice little area. It doesn't have to be too flat, but you do want a generally sort of even-ish area. This isn't too bad. There is a bit of an incline here, but it's not off the charts in terms of hilly. So go ahead and start placing down a single triangle. This is going to be the lowest part of your base, essentially. So you do want it pretty close to the ground, but you also want to make sure it's not like down here. That way you won't be able to place a square that you will need to after. So you want to add that just a little bit higher. And go ahead and add 3 squares around that triangle. And then off of those squares, we can add higher triangles in these positions. Now we want to decide where the front of our base compared to our back of our base. We probably don't want the front of our base facing towards this rock here. It would be much better off facing pretty much out this way. We've got a big open area here, and if we are getting door cam, people can't hide behind rocks like that or up on rocks like that. So we are going to have the front of our base coming out this way. So we want to add a lower triangle here, a lower triangle here, and a higher triangle here. You will be able to remember where the front of your base is simply for having the higher triangle here. You can go ahead and add another high triangle here and another lower triangle here. And this is essentially the footprint. As you can see, it does look like, without these little triangles here, it would look like somewhat of a bear footprint perhaps. Hence the name the BEARCLAW. Otherwise, it looks like a bit of a Space Invaders helmet or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and stone that up. And once you finish stoning up, we could continue on with the base. Now, before I go any further, it is possible to start this as a starter base and then build it up from there. I'm not going to show you that in this design tutorial. It is up to you to figure out how to do that. I'll give you some ideas. So essentially what we're going to have is a TC on this triangle I'm standing on, a loot room here, and a loot room here. What you could do is create this triangle, these 2 squares, and these 2 triangles, and then basically have one loot room here and have your starter room here with your workbench and your sleeping bags, and then you can move them at a later point. But for this video, I'm going to show you the basically how to build the completed base. If you are looking for a starter to perma base, go ahead and check out pretty much the highest viewed video I have for building on this channel, which is the starter to perma. Again, as long as you know how to build this base, it is quite simple to basically start this as a starter base. But as I said, for the concept of this video, we're going to build the entire thing. So we're going to go ahead and add full walls in these positions. And we want to go ahead and add a double door frame here. Grab your half walls, place over here, and then down the middle here. Now make sure the hard side is facing towards the front of the base on all 3 of these. Now that you've gone ahead and stoned those up, we can go to the front of the base and we have to decide where we want our front door to be. It's either going to be facing outwards this way or facing outward this way. Now, the chances of us actually having a honeycomb out this way is pretty high. So instead of having honeycomb, we could have our actual entrance coming off in this square. But I personally would suggest not doing that. I would have the entrance coming off this way so we can have a triangle entrance again at the front. So we'll go ahead and have our entrance at the start here on the left. Add a wall and a half wall in these positions, stone those up, and there we go. Now the reason for the double door will become apparent in a minute, and I'll just skip over that just for now and I'll come back to that. So we want to go ahead and add our TC as soon as possible. So add yourself a single door frame here and rotate your TC so the front is facing outwards. Alright, there we go. We'll go ahead and place our TC and authorize, and we can go ahead straight away and secure our TC. Now if you are a solo, you could get away with simply putting a key lock on this. The new changes to the keys basically mean you don't need to keep a key on you ever at all if you have created the key lock. So basically you could create a key lock, place it on the TC, throw that key away, let it just disappear, despawn, never to be seen again. You still will be able to access the TC. Now, and you will be able to create new keys. The only thing is other players won't be able to access the TC without those keys. So obviously if you're in a duo or a trio, you will want to use a code lock. So the next thing we want to do is finish off this little bit of honeycomb here. We could utilize this space, but for the sake of essentially safety and strength, we are going to use this as a honeycomb spot. And the same will be done here. So if we want to go ahead and add a triangle here, same on the other side. And then we can start walling off this honeycomb. Do the same over here. And these will be our loot rooms. So now we want to go ahead over here and add two half walls facing outwards here. And the reason again for this will become apparent in a moment, but do that on both sides. And place your shelves. Start placing your large boxes. Now you can fit two here, and then two up top. You could place them just simply on the top there, and then a small box in the middle, but we're going to add in an extra couple of small boxes, and the way to do that would be to adding a floor frame there. So go ahead and add all your large boxes. Make sure it's right at the back there so you can fit the small boxes at the front. And we'll plop our small boxes down. So yeah, now is the decision. Do you want to add the floor piece here and have those extra two slots, or do you want to just add the two large boxes and single small box? Now, the reason I suggest this as a question rather than, obviously you want these extra two things, is by placing this here, should you ever fall down into this spot here, it can be proving quite difficult to essentially jump out. As you can see, it can take a few times, especially if you've got entities up there, which those entities would be boxes. It can actually prove to be a little bit difficult to jump out of there. It's not impossible, but it is difficult. So that is the decision you need to make. Do you want those extra two boxes? The other reason for this floor here is, again, it's extra protection to your main loot. So if you throw all your good stuff in here, you know, they've got two roofs to go through, they've got two walls to go through, two foundations. Yeah, this is just extra security. So we're going to go ahead and add this here. Make sure you place your boxes right at the back there. Add your floor here and floor off that. Stone those up. A double door frame in this spot. Now, if you've placed your boxes a little too close to the edge there, you might find you won't be able to put those double doors in. So do maybe suggest putting those double doors before you go ahead and do the roof. Add your door in, and there you have your first loot room. Now, I'm not going to show you this because it's exactly the same. We're going to do the absolute exact same thing on the other side here for this loot room. So I'll skip ahead and show you what that looks like once I'm done. And don't forget to roof off this back part here. There we have both of our loot rooms done. Now, you might be wondering about this part. If you did watch the farm factory, you will understand why there is no floor piece here. Again, you know, as you're building, you can simply just add a floor piece here and then go and do your thing. But obviously, once you are ready to put your furnaces down, this is where you would place them. These furnaces are going to act like a floor, essentially, for this triangle piece. So go ahead and make sure they're right in the back corner there, as tight as you can get it on all three sides. And now you no longer need a floor piece because the furnaces are acting as a floor piece. Add yourself a single door frame here and a roof here. And you've got your main loot area secured. Alright, on to the next part, which is going to be, again, from the farm factory. This is quite simple. Again, you want to throw a furnace in each corner here, as far back as possible. You want to make sure it goes all the way back into the corner. If you're too far away from the corner, you won't be able to do this next step, which is placing large boxes right in these corners. And if you've done this right, you should be able to place a small box right there. Now go ahead and add a triangle floor piece right here. And now from this part, you can access both boxes, both furnaces, and that small box. Extra loot room, extra furnace room, and yeah, essentially in the space of a single square. So again, this is going to be our honeycomb, so we can go ahead and wall that off. Now let's think about our entrance. So there was a reason I said before why this is going to be a double door, and the reason is this is going to hold a drop box. So we'll go ahead and add a triangle there and stone that up. We can go right in the corner here and add a large box as tight back as possible. And then from here you want to add a small box, if you can manage it, right there. And now you have a little drop box room for when you're getting chased by some Zerg. You need to get inside quickly, drop all your good stuff, and go back out with your double shotty. And we're going to do pretty much the same here, over here. So add your large box as close to the corner as you can. A small box here. And then above that, again, we can do the exact same thing. A large box here. A small box here. A roof over the top. Another roof there. A door frame here. And you have your entrance. You have your little drop room. Alright, so now we're going to move on to our workbench area, our sort of crafting and repair area. So go ahead and add a research table into this back corner here, as far back as you can get it. So we've got that placed down. We want to add a triangle above it. And above that, we can add our repair bench. Again, right back into the corner there. We've left enough space here to add a small box. And hopefully, we've left enough space here for another small box right underneath. So head over into this corner and add your level 2 workbench. You can start off with a level 1 and then work up to level 2. It is suggested, obviously, to at least get a level 2. Hopefully, if you've done everything right, you should be able to actually fit a level 3 in here at some stage, so it will be a tight squeeze. Alright, so plop down your level 2 right at the back, and a campfire will fit right in this corner here. And you should be able to place a single sleeping bag and another small box and a door frame there and a door frame there. You can go ahead and add a door frame here just for aesthetics. It's not necessary. So what we've done is gone ahead and created a little room here for roof access. So if we go ahead and add a wall here, door frame there, cover up our remaining roof pieces, and there you can see we do have roof access. Now roof access, I feel, for any base, no matter how big it is a very necessary thing. There's no, I can't tell you how many times I've been door camped and wish I had roof access, and I just haven't built for roof access. Using your workbench to get up on top of the roof here. Obviously, in these days, finding a ladder hatch is probably one of the most difficult things you can, outside of finding a bloody AK and a bolty, right? So with the roof access, you do have direct view down on your front door. So if we go back through, we see we've got a little work area here. We can add our doors there, and another door here. I'm gonna have that one opening inwards. So we've got our workbench area here, repair bench, a sleeping bag. We can probably add, we can fit at least 2 more sleeping bags in. Fire down first. Another sleeping bag here. See, you've got 3 sleeping bags in this base. It's only a duo base. You could turn it into a trio. Obviously, it's going to be a very tight fit. So again, workspace area here. You've got this little loot and furnace room. You've got a drop box area with 3 large boxes and 3 small boxes. You've got the 3 furnaces here. You've got the 6 large boxes and the 7 small boxes here. And again, 6 large boxes, 7 small boxes, and TC access. Yeah, that's a pretty sizable and pretty strong base. Now, if you do want to make it a little bit more strong, because your TC is here, I would suggest eventually going ahead and adding at least a single triangle here. The smart idea for the 2 walls behind TC would be to sheet metal them up as well, and do the same for the roof piece there. So at this point, pretty much the only way you'd know where the TC was would be to look from above, and simply sheet metaling and then adding more triangles around the back here for even more security would be a good way to at least add some doubt as to where everything is sitting. You can go ahead and do the same sheet metaling for these spots, and suddenly you have a pretty difficult base. And again, you've got roof access here, so there's nothing stopping you from continuing to build upwards and then further protect your loot and your TC. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This has been the BEARCLAW base design. My name is Tom Snow for Red Dragon Gaming. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope this base build helps you on White Day and further. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button and share it on Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, anywhere you like to share your things with your friends. And yeah, again, thank you again. I'm Tom Snow. Peace.